After winning the diversity visa lottery, you have applied for the diversity visa lottery and you find out you are the winner. The key question is, what next? I'm preparing a series which is going to give you step by step important things you need to know when you are the winner of the diversity visa lottery. In order to do that, you can also go and check the book called After Winning the Diversity Visa Lottery. In this book, you are going to get the following things which are very, very important. First and foremost, this book is going to be showing you from immigrant visa, that means from being the diversity visa lottery winner, to the American dream. This is a complete practical and inspiring guidebook which is going to focus more into those particular steps where you have to understand what is the process for the diversity visa lottery after winning, process of filling the visa form, gathering the documents, attending the interview, or the medical exam. But the key issue is after arriving in the United States of America, what will be the next process towards what we call the American dream? There are two things here. There is winning, which takes you to come to America, is one process, but another process, settling and reaching the American dream, is another part. But before we go to processes after winning the diversity visa lottery, we have to know a few things. What are those things we need to know? Introduction to the diversity visa program. What is the diversity visa lottery program? This is one of the ways where you can get permanent resident of the United States through lottery means. The diversity visa lottery is a lottery, just like the word itself says, a lottery. But that lottery gives you permanent resident, gives you green card. And the keyword into that particular pathway is diversity. Why is the keyword? Is because the reasoning behind of establishing the diversity visa lottery was based on the fact that the United States wanted to bring more diversity in the United States. By diversity here, they don't mean everybody. They mean people who are immigrant. We take it for granted when we say the word immigrant. Why am I saying that we take it for granted? You will see a lot of people who are here in the United States. They claim that I'm immigrant, I'm immigrant. Even right now, people who are entering illegally, they are calling themselves as immigrant. No. According to the United States law, immigrant is a person who is a permanent resident. That's why there is category visa, which is called immigrant visa. That means someone who is a permanent resident. Someone given the visa to come to America to live on a permanent basis. That is immigrant visa. And non-immigrant is any visa you come here for the purpose of staying for a short time, not becoming immigrant, then you are expected to go back to your home country. Meaning you come maybe for visit, you come for a conference, you come for the medical, you come for as a student, whether to get a degree or not to get a degree. You come here for work like H1 visa or other type of visa we call non-immigrant visa. So even if you have been here for bachelor, master's, PhD for the 10 years, you are still not immigrant. So when they say diversity, they want people who are given immigrant visa, people who are becoming permanent resident. That's what they are focusing. So the diversity visa lottery program was established in the early 1990s for the purpose of bringing more immigrants, for the purpose of bringing more people with a green card. But they are focusing on the countries which has the less number of immigrants, the countries which has the less number of people with a green card, people who are permanent resident. And in that category, in that particular case, they are looking into, for instance, is this country in the last 5 years has 50,000 visas, has 50,000 immigrant visas, has 50,000 green cards, but not through all other means, through many ways. If a country has more than 50,000 green cards based on or given or obtaining green card visas through family sponsorship or through work sponsorship, that country is not eligible to be part of the green card lottery system. For instance, at the moment in Africa, Nigeria is not eligible. Why Nigeria is not eligible to participate in the diversity visa lottery is because Nigeria has so many people, more than 50,000 people who have got green card through family sponsorship and through work sponsorship in the last 5 years. If it happens, that number goes below 50,000, below that particular threshold, then that country will be brought back to participate in the diversity visa lottery. We have seen countries, we have seen situations where people apply for the diversity visa, and then when they go for the diversity visa, that country is not eligible, but later that country is going to be added. For instance, at one point, we saw Venezuela was not eligible, but later was brought back. Guatemala at one point was not eligible. Now it is eligible. Why? Because at one point they had more than 50,000 people who have green card through family sponsorship and also through work sponsorship. That is the simple understanding who qualifies into the diversity visa lottery program. So there is a particular time where you are supposed to apply. Each year, the application of the diversity visa lottery is done in the month of October. Why October? Because October 1st is the new fiscal year in the United States of America. Different countries have different fiscal year. That means the new government year in that particular country. So United States is October 1st. For instance, in Tanzania is July 1st. Some other countries might be January, some other countries have August, some other countries have September, depending on country to country. So on the first week of October each year to the first week of November each year, in the period of 35 days, it is the time to apply for the diversity visa lottery. You must be coming from a country which is eligible to apply. If the country is eligible, you can apply. Then, if you win, there is another process where you are supposed to understand what is going on. There are other things beyond the count of eligibility. Yes, you have found that you are eligible to apply, and then you are possibly going to be the winner. But there are other factors to make sure that you are eligible. There is the issue of education or work experience. But in this context, I'm not going into that because I've already written a book about the process of applying green card lottery. We want to see, once you are becoming the winner, what next in that particular context. But in this way, I was just giving just the introduction for you to understand what the diversity visa program is. That means you apply, you win. But you have to remember a few things. Number one, millions of people are applying the diversity visa lottery. You are not the only one who is applying for the diversity visa lottery. Guess how many people have applied for the diversity visa lottery in the recent time? Average between 20 to 24 million people are applying for the diversity visa lottery, are expecting to come to America in one way or another. So in this particular way, if that is what people are expecting, make sure you don't put any unnecessary mistakes. It doesn't matter whether you are old, you can be able to qualify to apply. Obviously, you must be a little bit adult. You cannot apply at 2 years old. What if you win? You cannot be able to process. Mostly, you have to be at least high school education. That means you are supposed to be 18. But some people can be 17, about to finish high school. That means when you win, you can be able to process, because the process takes almost a year process until to come. And when they say 2 years of work experience, even if you don't go to school, majority of countries to have 2 years work experience, at least you are 16, so 2 years will make you 18. So even though there is no a minimum age to apply, by application, by implicity, you are going to be 18 years old and above. And when you are 10 years old, you win, you cannot come here. How are you going to start your life in America? You can't. So you must be at least 18, but there is no age maximum to apply. So you can apply. There are so many other factors to consider when you apply. And if you apply, you become the winner. In that way, you can be able to start processing to come to the United States of America. The other important question we need to ask ourselves is, how do you know that you are the winner of the diversity visa lottery? You have applied for the diversity visa lottery, and we say after winning the diversity visa lottery, but how do you know that you are the winner? There are a few things we need to pay attention to. Number one, you have to apply the diversity visa lottery through the government website, not any other website you can use to apply. And what is that website? The website is www.dvprogram.state.gov. That is the official government website which you are supposed to use to apply. If you use any other website, it is not correct website. On the website, the word DV stands for the diversity visa, and because its program is program, and the word state is Department of State, which is in charge of processing the diversity visa program. For other countries, they call Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Here we call the Department of State. And .gov is a domain for the government entities in the United States of America. So you have applied using the diversity visa program, dvprogram.state.gov. And guess what? The results you must go to check through the same website. There are no email sending to you that you are the winner of the diversity visa lottery. Some people get some fraud scams, receiving an email from a website with a domain .org, .net, .com, telling them that they are the winner of the diversity visa lottery. No. To find out you are the winner of the diversity visa lottery, you have to go to the government website. The website you use to apply is the same website you use to check the results. Remember, when you applied for the diversity visa lottery, basically you received something we call the confirmation number. That confirmation number is the number, basically it will start with your name, entrance information, the name, it will be last name, comma, first name, middle name, and so forth. It will have the confirmation number. It will be the number of the fiscal year, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2028, whatever it will be, the year of applying. It will be that year. Then there will be followed by other numbers and letters. There will be about 16 digits in that context. It will have the year of birth and the digital signature. So you use that confirmation number. You use your last name to go to the website of the Department of State, which is the dvprogram.state.gov, to check the results. Once you go there, you'll put the information, you'll find two types of results. Number one, the results will be you haven't won the DV lottery. If that happens, you'll be told, based on the information provided, and the information here is your last name, year of birth, and the confirmation number. It will say, based on the information provided, the entry has not been selected for further processing for the electronic diversity visa program at this time. This usually sometimes confuses people. Yes, you have not been selected. That means you are not the winner of the diversity visa lottery. But when they say at this time, people thinking that, oh, if I come another time, I might find out I'm the winner. No. The results are all provided at once. There is no second selection in the diversity visa lottery program. But what happens if you are the winner of the diversity visa lottery? You will get the notification that based on the entry submitted, your entry has been selected, and then you will be able to download the letter in a PDF. That we call the first notification letter, or rather the winning letter. We'll go in detail about this letter, but this letter, basically you have to know that is what tells you you are the winner. While you are going to celebrate, be happy about it, there are a few things you need to know. That this winning letter has something called the case number. We'll discuss the case number, but this case number is the one is going to determine when you might probably be called for the interview. That's why when they told you, dear so and so, you have been selected, you have been randomly selected for further processing in the diversity immigrant visa program for the fiscal year, they put the fiscal year. The following sentence after that says, the selection does not guarantee that you will receive a visa because the number of applicants selected is higher than the number of visas available. So you are the winner, but that doesn't automatically guarantee you are coming to the United States of America. Don't start celebrating, don't start saying goodbye to everyone. There is other processes you have to follow in order to process is the winner of the diversity visa lottery. And one, the number of visas is 55,000 visas, but the number of winners is more. So if we go to look on the previous numbers, how many winners have been selected? In most cases, it's between 120,000 to 150,000. That is the total number of winners overall. So they select more people just in case some other people are either maybe dead, maybe they're not going to check the results. Some people are denied the visa. Some people, maybe they, in one or another reason, maybe they feel everything, they didn't go to the interview. So there are so many factors. So that's why they select more applicants to become winners, though not all are going to receive the actual visa which you're supposed to have. So that is how you know you are the winner of the diversity visa lottery. So don't start celebrating. Don't start buying the new luggage, thinking that because of the new luggage, I'm ready to go to America. No. There are so many other things to play around there before you go to get into that particular plane, Boeing 757, whatever Boeing it is, whether you're using KLM, you are using Emirates, you are using Qatar Airways, Ethiopian Airways, or whatever airline you are using. Don't start going to purchase the ticket because there are so many things are going to happen after finding out you are the winner for the diversity visa lottery. The other important things is the timeline is the diversity visa lottery winner. What is the timeline? From the moment you found out you are the winner of the diversity visa lottery to the arrival in America. The results of the diversity visa lottery always released in the first week of May. To be exactly the first Saturday of May. That's when the results are out. When the results are all out at once. There is no second selection. So if you check on the first day, you check on the second day, you check on the fourth day, doesn't matter. You check next month, whether you are the winner, it will never change. So from the moment, let's start, you applied the DV lottery. You applied in the month of October up to the first week of November. So there is the whole November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So until April. So you have 6 months from the moment you have applied for the DV lottery to the time when the selection, the results are out. 6 months. Then after the results are out in May, you are starting filling out the visa form, the famous form called DS-260. The Department of State form number 260, or the famous 260. That is immigrant visa form. Is a different form from non-immigrant visa form DS-160. You can fill that form that day, you can fill the form next day. There is a process of filling that form. Don't rush to fill that form. And filling that form area doesn't mean that you are going to be called for the interview area. No. There is a number we said, which is case number, will determine that. But from the moment the results are out, remember, from you applied in October until the results are out, you have waited for 6 months. Then there is May, June, July, August, September. You'll wait for 5 months until October 1st. October 1st is the first day of the interviews of the DV winners. So the diversity visa lottery winners are starting interviewing on October 1st until September 30th of the following year. So up to now, October to September is almost nearby a full year. You have been waiting until the interviews are going to start. Then it depends. Majority of you will not have a small case number to have the interview in that month of October, to have the interview in the month of November or December. So majority of you, they might start maybe January, February, March. So usual add at least 3 to 6 more months until the interview is going to start for your interview. Some people, the interview will be until the following year in maybe August. So the average process, waiting time, can start the timeline from applying to the process of you getting on the visa interview at the US Embassy takes about a year to 18 months, a year and a half. Some people can go almost nearby 2 years. What does that mean? It means once you are the winner of the DV lottery, don't start jumping, saying bad things to other people, disrespecting other people, starting planning the travel, because it is a year and a half to 2 years the process until the day you get into the plane to come to America. That is the timeline from selection to the arrival in America, up to 2 years. And this is not just for the diversity visa lottery. I usually tell people, even for other programs, when you are planning to go to the first world country, most of the processes are going to take at least 1 year and above. What does that mean? It means don't rush to any particular program. You want to go to apply for scholarships. You want to apply today and tomorrow you come to America. No, it doesn't work that way. You want to maybe to go to visit to America. You want, oh, I get the invitation letter today, tomorrow you are going to the US Embassy. No, there is a waiting time when the available interviews are. There are some of the countries, Canada, for instance, for people who are in Canada, not Canadian citizens, people who are in Canada who want to visit America, waiting period is more than 900 days. People in Turkey who want to visit America, waiting time from Turkey to America is more than 550 days. So that shows you that is not the matter of rushing. Today I want to go to America, is my dream, and tomorrow you are going. Prepare yourself for a long journey. And while you are waiting, from the moment you apply, waiting for the results, you have to continue with your life. You have to continue with the other programs. Your student continue studying. Your business continue with the business. Do other things. Don't wait. I'm waiting for the DV lottery results so that I can win. You stop your entire life. No. I understand there is God. I understand the power of prayer. But that doesn't mean that you wake up in the morning, you are just starting praying. You go to the evening, every single minute you're just praying all the time, thinking that that's I'm going to win. No. There are other things. God is busy with other things too. Yes, pray, but do other things. Improve your professional profile so that it can help you also for other non-diversity visa lottery programs. That means in case you don't win, you have other programs. But even if you win, let's say you have highest number and you are not calling for the interview, you have other things you can be able to do to attain your American dream, if that's the case. Because if you win and you stop your entire life and assume it happens that either you are not calling for the visa interview, or by whatever case you are going for the visa interview and you are going to be denied, you'll be crying every single minute. Yes, it's upsetting to win the DV lottery and wait that long, but not being able to process. But that doesn't mean that you stop other things. That's why I will tell people, always do other things. Don't depend only on one egg in the basket. That is the timeline from applying, selection, processing everything until the arrival to America, and the lesson you needed to take, the things you need to take to consider while the process is going. You should continue with your life. Don't start every single day. You will just the winner, go to social media, telling every person your business, I'm the winner of the DV lottery. You will just find me. I'm already here. You are going to borrow some money from friends. If someone doesn't want to give you the money, oh, you are denying me the money. Just wait. Next month, I'm going to America and I will show you. No, it's not that way. Don't start to put the business everywhere. Yes, there are some few close people. You can tell them you are the winner of the DV lottery, but it doesn't mean that you have gotten the visa. That's why the winning letter, it tells you clearly that winning the diversity visa lottery doesn't mean that you have already gotten the visa. The selection process is one thing, but selection doesn't mean that you have visa on hand. So that is something you need to pay attention to, something you need to make sure that you know what to do after that. There are myths and misconceptions about the diversity visa lottery. Myths and misconceptions about winning the diversity visa lottery. What happens in the process? People are lying, giving some of the things which are not true. I'm going to share some of these kind of things. Number one, on the misconception about winning the diversity visa lottery, it is start on people having the tricks to win the diversity visa lottery. There is no trick that if you apply during the midnight, you are going to win. If you apply after Friday afternoon prayer for Muslim, you are going to win. If you apply on Sunday after church, you are going to win. No. There are some people think that if the person who is filling the visa form for you is in America, for instance, is going to help you win. No. The person helps you win is only God. God is the one has the power to give you the winning. All other people, so we are helping to apply. We are helping to apply to avoid human mistakes on the photos, on a proper way of applying. Make sure that you have family, everything together. But don't say, oh, because so-and-so applied for me, that's why I won. Because I applied on this last day, I'm going to be the winner. Whether you apply on the first day, the last day, as long as you're applying within the time for you to apply, you have equal chance like any other people. Some people think that misconception that if you apply as married, you are going to win because you are married. No. You are winning not because you are married. You are winning because you are winning. Yes, we usually say that someone who is married has higher chance of winning. Not because of marital status, no. It is because you have two chances. You, as a husband, you can go as many applicants. You put your wife. That is one application. The wife goes to apply as married to you. And if the wife wins, you come also to America. So you have a chance as husband. You have a chance when your wife also applies. You have two chances. That's why you will say when you are married, you have higher chances than someone who is single. Doesn't mean that, oh, they prefer married over single. When they process the winning, at that time you are treated you as a main applicant. They don't care whether you are married, whether you're not married in that particular context. So don't spread the rumors, oh, I have to apply, I'm married so that I can win. No. Another misconception usually comes into results time, that, oh, when you apply using maybe a tablet or a phone or a laptop or desktop computer, one device you might help you to win over the other device. No. It doesn't matter what device you are using to apply. In the other, it's just the internet. You just apply, you applied. It doesn't matter what device you are going to use. There are some people have a misconception that when the results are coming out, there is a second results, that if on the day of the results you check and you find you are not the winner, wait for 1 week or 1 month, go and check again results, you might find out you are the winner. No. All results are coming on the same day, and they give up to 140,000 people as the winner. So they're not having the business of having a second selection, because they are going to choose more than 2 times the number of visas available. Number of visas available is 55,000, so they give at least 120 and more as a backup, just in case, for so many other reasons. So there is no that, oh, the second selection. And all the results, whether you check on day 1, on September, whatever you're going to check the results, they all have the same date of the first day of the results to be put out. Another misconception is the issue of education or work experience. Some people think that because I have master's degree, bachelor's degree, doctorate, that's why I'm the winner. This is different ball game. They are not going to look about merit based in terms of your education. Work experience, you cannot even indicate how many years of work experience you have in the original developed application. What you do, just apply. The selection, they don't care about education at the time of selection, and they don't see work experience. But once you are the winner, that is when they are going to look into your work experience or education to be given the visa. So there is misconception, oh, if you have this education, you cannot win. No. There is the misconception when it comes to the matter of age. Some people think that, oh, if you are too young, you cannot win. If you are too old, you cannot win. I've seen in all age categories. Some people who are 18 have won the DV lottery. People who are 75 years old have won the lottery. There's one lady, Ugandan, was 69 at the time of winning. There's another Ugandan, 65. Kenyan, I've seen 59 so many times. 55 Tanzanians, I've seen many people in Tanzania. They are the winners. So don't stop to apply because of your age, thinking that I cannot win because I'm too old. No. You'll be surprised to see how many are celebrating every time when they apply. There is no preference when it comes to the matter of age. But once you win, yes, the issue will come. Someone who is older can have more work experience if doesn't have the high school education as the minimum for you to apply. There is a misconception again when it comes to the green card lottery winners that if you have more children, you are taking the visas of other people. That means, let's say I'm married, I have 5 children. Think that if you have more children, they are going to take the visas of other people. When you say there are 55,000 visas, doesn't mean that someone with 3 children and husband and wife, those are 5 visas. No, that is considered as one visa. That is still the one, or all people come under one case number. So one case number is one visa, regardless how many dependents that person has. So don't be upset with the people who have children that, oh, I'm upset with these people who are married, these people who have children because they're taking our visas. No. All those people are one case number. So visa number 2, regardless how many people are coming with that person, is the second case number. So 55,000 visas, it means 50,000 case numbers, regardless how many dependents the person has. So if all 55,000 people come here, in general, they come over 100 to 200,000 people, because some people, they have 3, 4, 5 children. So if you put the average, is not the actual 55,000, is more than that. That is something to pay attention. Others are talking about different ways. Oh, I can trick the system. All these are misconception and the myth, and sometimes they make people lose the chance of winning. For instance, someone, let's say, use my name. I'm Ernest Boniface Makulilo. So someone goes there, applying as Ernest Boniface Makulilo. Then you think you are smarter than them. You go and put Boniface Makulilo Ernest as the second applicant. You go in the third person, you put Makulilo Ernest Boniface as the third person. No. That is not a smart way to do. Even if you're going to change the clothing, or you have hair, short hair, and then you have different photos. No. Remember, the US government is smarter than you. They have a facial recognition software where they are going to determine if you are the same person applying for the second time. In that particular case, they will detect you, and there is automatically rejection. So pay attention to unnecessary stories in the street versus the actual rules and regulations, so that once you win, you are having more chances of getting the visa. That's why the winning letter, they go further, but saying that win does not mean that you are going to get the visa. They say, in order to increase your chances of getting the visa, you have to read the instruction for the diversity visa program. Because some people, they don't read the instructions, so they are the winners, but because they hear some stories from other people, then they are going to be denied the visa in that particular way. How to read and understand the first notification letter. People can shorten it as NL1, or people can call it as 1NL, but all in all is the first letter you get it. What is that first letter? It is the letter to inform you that you are the winner of the diversity visa lottery. So when you win the diversity visa lottery, after checking the results, it will tell you your entry has been selected. And on that place where it says your entry has been selected, it will be a place where you can be able to see the actual letter. And the letter will say you have been randomly selected for further processing in the diversity immigrant visa program, and it will give you the fiscal year of that particular year. But it will give you the warning that winning, or rather the selection of being the winner of the diversity visa lottery, does not guarantee that you receive a visa. And it will give you the reason why. The reason being, the number of people who are selected is higher than the number of visas supposed to be issued in that particular fiscal year. Usually, the number of people who are selected is more than 120,000, between 120,000 to 150,000 each year. But the visas which are supposed to be issued are about 55,000 people. In Africa, the number of visas which are going to be issued usual is more than most of the countries or more other regions. So if we take a quick look, how many people were the winners in the diversity visa lottery, the V2024, there were 143,000 winners. But how many people out of those one applied in the V2024? You find out it was 22,185,000. That was the total number of applicants in the V2024. And the winners were 143,000. Out of those, how many were the winners from Africa? Africa alone had 55,116. Out of 55,000 winners from Africa, only 22,000 people were the one given the visas. So not all people who are the winners are going to get the visas. So that is something you need to pay attention. But if you want to see a little bit of the breakdown in Africa with the countries with the highest number of winners in the V2022, V2024, you'll find out, for instance, Egypt was the first country with the 5,509, followed by Sudan, number 2, 5,435, Algeria, 5,142, Morocco, 4,250, Kenya, 3,760, Cameroon, 3,485, Ethiopia, and so forth. That was the V2024, if you want to see the number of winners. Let's go to the V2025, the winners from Africa. The highest country, or the first, again, the top 5, top 10 countries are almost the same countries. You can see the countries like Algeria, 5,526. See the countries like Sudan, 5,505. So there are countries with usually the highest number. Why do they win so many of those? Because more people are applying. The country with the more applicants, they have higher chances of having more winners than the country without more applicants. So when you go to read the first notification letter, yes, you are the winner. Go straight down at the bottom of your letter is the winner. While you are celebrating, don't celebrate too much until you see what is your case number. Each person after winning will be given the case number. That case number has already been assigned at the time you're going to check the results. It will be there. Doesn't mean that if you check the result, the first one will have smaller number. No, the number has already predetermined, has already been allocated to you. The lower the number, the higher the chance, the quicker you'll be called for the interview. And the people who have a higher case number, for instance, you are from Africa, your number is 95,000, you are 120,000. Obviously, you are not going to be called for the interview. The lower the number is going to determine when you will be called for the interview or how fast it will be called for the interview. So there will be a big, long PDF in the winning letter with a lot of instructions. And they will say, selection does not guarantee that you will receive a visa because the number of applicants selected is greater than the number of visas available. Therefore, it is very important that you carefully follow instruction to increase your chances possible visa insurance. The instruction, you have to read them, and they go further. They will say, your case will not be scheduled for an interview appointment until a visa number is available. You'll be scheduled, you have to submit a complete and valid DS-260 application for each family member, and you have provided copies of all required documentation to the Kentucky Consular Center. You receive the documentation submission instruction, whatever, all those kind of things for that particular case. So those are some of the things you need to understand. In the nutshell, you have to read clearly the first notification letter. And in that notification letter also, there is another important aspect. What is that important aspect is, wherever or whenever you want to communicate, to contact the Kentucky Consular Center, remember, Department of State is in charge of diversity visa lottery. But within the Department of State, there is a special unit we call Kentucky Consular Center, which is in charge with the processing of the diversity visa program. So whatever question you have, you will direct that question to the Kentucky Consular Center. They have instruction on how to email them. On the subject, you will put your case number, you will put your name, you will put your birthday, you go to email to kcc@state.gov. That is the email address. And you go straight, if you have communication, you want to communicate with them something, you go direct to them. And that way, you'll be able to tell them what you really need in that particular way. And they respond to you. Most of the time, nowadays, they are very fast within a day, but usually take to 24 to 48 hours. They will be able to do that. How to check your case number and know the interview timing. Yes, you are the winner of the diversity visa lottery. As you have been saying over and over, that once you are the winner, you'll be given the case number. So there are two things you need to know. Number one is confirmation number. This you are given when you apply the diversity visa lottery. But once you have the case number helps you to check the results along with the last name and the year of birth. But when you win, you will be given another number, randomly generated, assigned to you. That number will be very, very important because it's the determining factor when you will be called for the interview. We have talked about, and usually we say there is low case number, there is high case number. What does that mean? The low case number is the number from 1 going up. The higher you go, the less the chance of being called for the interview. For instance, in Africa, our code region is AF. So when you are the winner, let's say you are DV 2025, DV 2026, or DV 2028 down the road when you come to do that one, it will say 2025, 2026, or 2027, whatever that particular fiscal year, AF, Africa region. It doesn't matter where do you live or where were you at the time of applying. Even if you live in America, Europe, whatever, they look into the country of birth. That is where you are assigned as a region. So it will be 2025, 2026 AF, then the 00, then number comes. So if your number, let's say, is above 50,000, that is high case number. The likelihood of being called for the interview is starting going lower and lower. I've seen people 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, they called, but I've seen people with 55,000 not to be called for the interview. Again, it depends also the region. It depends also on sometimes the nature of that particular fiscal year, how many people they are denied the visa, how many people are showing up. There are so many factors behind that decision. So don't celebrate too early. The number is very, very important because that number will be able to determine. So even though they can say from number 1 to 10,000, we are processing those numbers, for instance, in Africa, in the month of October, doesn't mean that they are going to interview all those people in the month of October. It comes to each embassy. What is the capacity of that particular embassy? How many winners are in that particular group? And how many are able to be the interview to be conducted at that particular time? But all in all there's another thing is called the visa bulletin. The visa bulletin is the indication, like from this month, we are processing from this number to this number. So all people from there, they'll be able to start doing the processing. That is how it works that way. For the winners who are in the United States, there is a separate process. Though the process, the case number will be determining factor, but also will have a separate session where it shows what other processes you do. But all the case number will be determining factor for the processing for you to be given the visa. So pray to have a smaller number, because the higher you have, the less the chance of being called for the interview. There is something we have talked over and over, or we mentioned many times, Kentucky Consular Center, KCC. What is Kentucky Consular Center and what's its role in the diversity visa lottery? The Department of State, for people who do not know about the departments, when we say the department is a ministry. So when we say the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in some other countries, here in the United States, that is Department of State. And usually, the Secretary of State is like the Minister of Foreign Affairs in other countries. In the United States, we don't have the Office of Prime Minister like other countries. We have Secretary of State, who is in the rank of the president, who is going down in the cabinet. Secretary of State is high up. That's why even when you see the cabinet, whenever they sit, the president will be here, vice president will be here, and Secretary of State will be there, because he's one among the highest ranking official. So the Department of State has a lot, because it deals with everybody coming to America. But once you enter in America, you are going to be dealing with another department, which we call the Homeland Security. So within the Department of State, which is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, there is a unit or agency called Kentucky Consular Center. Yes, it is in the state of Kentucky, but it's called Kentucky Consular Center because it's Kentucky, but it's Consular Center. So the Kentucky Consular Center has been given the mandate, has been given the job of doing everything you need to know about the diversity visa lottery. So when you win, you'll be contacting the Kentucky Consular Center. So when you win, you fill in the visa form. If you have any question about your case, you'll be contacting the Kentucky Consular Center. And that one is also written in the diversity visa selection letter. When they say your entry has been selected, then there are so many instructions after that. One of the instructions is to fill the visa form. Everywhere you read, it will be going back to KCC. And they give you the way on how to contact them. And if you want to communicate, you will be receiving email, you communicate with the KCC in their official email account, which is kccdv@state.gov. So if you email them, remember you have to start with you will put your full name, you will put your case number, you will put the birthday over there on the subject. Then you can state what you want in that particular way. So when you fill the visa form, KCC will be in charge of that until KCC is going to send your interview scheduled date at that time to the embassy. But if you are in the United States, you are not going to the embassy because the embassy is outside the United States. In the very nutshell, you will fill the DSC 260 as normal, like any other person. But the place for the interview, you will indicate you are in the United States, and the USCIS, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, will be in charge of it. That means you will process everything while you are within the United States. And during that particular process, At one point, while other people who are outside the United States, they will go and pay $330 for the visa interview on the day of the interview at the US Embassy. For you who is in the United States already here, what you will do, you will fill another form, which you are going to change your case from KCC to Homeland Security. Remember, KCC is within Department of State, which is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But if you are inside the United States, you are dealing with the immigration, which is the Homeland Security. So because you are here, you will pay $330 to transfer your case from Kentucky Consular Center. There is an office specifically which is dealing with that move of KCC to Homeland, and that office is in St. Louis, Missouri. So you fill, there is a form, you pay with the money order, they will send you the receipt that the case has been moved from KCC to Homeland Security, and the process will go from there. So remember, any important thing you have to communicate, you have to deal with KCC in that particular manner. We have been saying and talking about the Department of State form number 260, DSC 260. One of the things we usually say, you have to fill that particular form as soon as possible. But it doesn't mean that the area you fill, the area they assign you the visa interview date. No. As I've been mentioning over and over, that for you to be scheduled for the visa interview, it will depend on your case number. So for instance, if your case number is 40,000, even if you are the first one to be filling the visa form DSC 260, they are not going to jump because the visa bulletin hasn't said it is your time for you to be processed. So you'll end up waiting until maybe around May, June, July to have that interview. But someone with the case number, maybe 500, 1,000, whatever, with a smaller case number, they will have interview early. So yes, we say you have to feel the importance to feel early. Doesn't mean that the earlier you feel, the quicker they're going to assign you the interview. That's number one. Number two, don't just go and fill the visa form even if you don't have enough information, enough documentations. For instance, what are the things you need to have quicker before you submit the DSC 260? Number one, you need to have the passport. You have won the DV lottery. Obviously, they're not going to put the visa on your hand. They have to put it somewhere. So if you are married, you have children, make sure all of them, they have passport to fill that one. Take the time quicker, go and get the passport first. Secondly, there is another component. Where are you going to stay in the United States? And in that part, we call a host. The address, it has to be a residential address, not the building, the official building. Some people, they rush it so much, they just put in a fake address so that they can submit. Remember, that can cause you to be denied the visa. Because where are you going to be? They look there, that's the fake address. You are going to be homeless in America? No. So make sure it's better to have someone agreeing. They will use the address, even if you are going to stay at the address, but you must have actual residential address. Someone agreed to give you the address. So yes, we say submit the form early. Doesn't mean that you just jump, don't put the address or put the fake address. Don't just jump and submit without having the correct passport numbers, expiration date. And if you have a passport but it's about to expire within the next 6 months, no, go and get the newer passport. Don't rush. Fill the visa form properly, correctly. Take your time. Why am I saying that one? Because if filling incorrectly, it can cause you to be denied the visa. That's why it is written in the first notification letter that selection does not guarantee that you receive the visa because the number of applicants selected is greater than the number of visas available. Therefore, it is important that you carefully follow instructions to increase your chances of possible visa insurance. So if you don't follow the proper instructions, you might end up there. Let's say you are going to add your child who is above 21 and above. That is a problem. You are not allowed to add someone who is 21 and above unless was 20 years old at the time of application, and during the visa process become 21. That is a different story. So yes, we say it is important to fill the visa form early. Go ahead and fill the early as long as you have everything on hand. Better to be a little bit late than rushing and putting things which can cause you to be denied the visa. What are the documents which are required for diversity visa application? Here I'm talking about after winning the DV lottery, you are going to fill a visa form, the DS-260. Remember, when you are filling the visa form, there is no any place you are supposed to upload the documents at the visa form. Unlike the non-immigrant visa form, the DS-160, the visa which you applied to come to visit, going for school, going for medical, going for work, those type of visa which is non-immigrant, you'll be required to upload a photo at the end. But on the DS-260, there is no place to upload a photo. There is no place to upload any document. All the documents are required on the visa interview. But you must have those documents on hand, because what you fill on the DS-260 form must match with the documents you have. For instance, if you have 3 names, write 3 names exactly as they appear on your passport. For instance, if my passport is written Ernest Boniface Makulilo with FACE, that will be the name. But if birth certificate is written PHACE and the passport will go with the passport, but later we'll go to find the document to correspond with the passport. So make sure you have the documents because they will match with the documents. If you say I want to University A is in this region, that means when you submit your transcript, the transcript will say University of Dar es Salaam in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. If you went to maybe University B, it has to say that way. If you have children, 2 children, which you used to apply with them, these are their correct names, spelling, date of birth, they have to match it. That's why we say you must have those documents in hand. And once you fill everything, sometimes those documents might be in another language. There is no problem with that. But before you go to the interview, those documents must be translated into English language. It doesn't matter whether the documents are in French, Spanish, Kiha, Nyakyusa, Kikuyu, doesn't matter. They have to be in English. So documents you need to have so that what you feel match with what you have. And when you go to the visa interview, those documents which you have, which they match with the DS-260, must be in English. Those are the important things you need to have on the documents required in the application. But these documents, you don't need to have all these documents at the time of the lottery application. There is no passport requirement on the application. There is no that thing. The passport is not required during the application, is required after winning. Yes, the proper arranging of the names, proper spelling, the way you apply on the DV lottery and after winning and on the visa application should match. If there is something changing, you must have good explanation and documentation to support why there is that big change.